What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raised.
Last year, Netflix gave us one of the most heartwarming and emotionally hitting loving stories in film through Purple Hearts, a coming together of two individuals who were polar opposite. But will Netflix agree with the public for that much-awaited sequel? Here's a look. An aspiring singer-musician who is struggling with health issues and a Marine in the military who has a dark past with drugs and other hidden secrets that surprisingly brought them together and gave them challenges that they had to work through. It captured the hearts of many people worldwide. It would bring a lot of happiness and hype if there could be a continuation of this love story. However, the chances of this happening as of now are still pretty slim, as the story doesn't end with a cliffhanger. Actress and producer of the film Sofia Carson said in an interview with Variety that now that fans have been kind of demanding a sequel, there's so many fan theories and fan stories and potential spin-offs, so of course it's lovely to think of a life for Cassie and Luke beyond this film. With that being said, even the actors in the film aren't opposed to the idea of going beyond what the initial story already gave. It would be fair to say that the sequel might be on the cards, but it's really up to the higher-ups in Netflix because they have the final say on the movies they want to stream on their platform. Speaking of Sofia Carson, she spoke to Variety about how Purple Hearts came about, along with the directors Elizabeth Allen Rosenbaum when they first met 5 or 6 years ago, and how she envisioned Cassie and Luke, how she has been dreaming about it for years. This was the first time Sofia Carson has been part of a film from pre-production to the very finish. Elizabeth said, "I remember I read in a hotel room in Portland and I thought everything that I've been feeling, the frustration I've been feeling in the world as the two sides of the aisle have become more and more divided. It's kind of represented in this. Ever since the release of Purple Hearts, fans have been demanding a sequel. The director has noted that she wouldn't do something that would be haphazard, and if there is to be a sequel, she would make sure that it follows through the previous storyline well." The same goes for Carson, who has become an executive producer, saying that she has the producer bug. "Can I just say I'm loving everything that has to do with producing. When it comes to Nicholas, the leading man in the film, he thinks that there are many ways it could go when it comes to the production of the sequel." In an interview with People, the actor has said that the support of the film has definitely been overwhelming.
"I thought that by enlisting, I could earn my dad's respect. Now that I'm actually here, I'm doing it for me."
The actor said the reason why he was drawn to the script was that the character felt very different from any other role that he had done before. The obvious love story from the get-go, but portrayed in a very unusual way. When it came to the possibility of a sequel, though, the actor said, "We will see for sure." He mentioned that they privately joke about what would happen and how to possibly continue the story, because obviously they would need to come up with a good script, something that would make sense, the actor added. It is very cool to see people asking for a second one. With that being said, what could Purple Hearts 2 be about? Just giving you a heads up for spoilers ahead. At the end of the movie, we saw clips of Cassie and Luke reuniting with his prison sentence for their fraudulent marriage. We see the couple fully in love and smashing that like button. Oh, I mean, living in bliss as they live their lives happily. Even though they had an unconventional start, they found love in a very unusual and unexpected circumstance. The sequel could follow them from this moment and the return of Luke and their reconciliation. Possibly, it could continue with Luke trying to find a job outside of the Marines and Cassie further pursuing her dreams. Possibly, time constraints could be a hindrance in their blossoming relationship, especially if Cassie has to be away for a long time on her tours. There could possibly be tension in their relationship as a consequence of them being apart. For now, these are just speculations, as there has been no confirmation as of yet if a sequel will be pushed through. But hey, the thought of this kind of plotline seems very interesting. If there were ever to be a sequel, it would definitely follow through Cassie and Luke's life as a married couple. And for better plot lines, they would need to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. But seriously, Cassie and Luke will have to conquer bigger challenges, something that married couples would deal with. The possibility of them having kids as well would also be a factor in the different challenges they could potentially face. Personal problems between the couple could also be a factor into possible hardships in their relationships that they could potentially face. Luke's relationship with his dad, although in the ending it was shown that they might have reconciled in the end, but also also the trauma that their relationship accumulated might be something they have to work on. Cassie and her health struggles are also something that need clarifying. How is she doing health-wise? Even though her career might be skyrocketing, the possibility of health deterioration isn't too far-fetched, given that her time will be mostly spent on touring and other musical deals that she has to deal with. Another aspect that would be very interesting to explore that was also left unanswered is Cassie and Luke's differences in a lot of their values, knowing they come from very different backgrounds.
If we do this, we have to make this look normal, like a real marriage. Gives you a year of free health insurance.
Cassie's a child of a Latina immigrant struggling to make ends meet and knows the highs of life underneath the racial hierarchy, which they have already had an argument about in the earlier parts of the film. Luke came from a generational military background, growing up under the authority of a conservative father in the military. The differences in their stance, especially on their values, their traditions, and most especially their political standings, have drawn criticism from a lot of viewers as well. If there is an opportunity for a sequel, this is an aspect of the storyline that needs to be addressed. The story will truly progress once this is shed light on. The couple already started off with very high tensions, with mutual contempt and dislike. There is clearly a gap that needs to be filled here. The director claims that Purple Hearts promotes moderation or centralism, but two very opposite people can come together and are able to fall in love, and they can meet in the middle despite their different points of view. Especially when they are mixed red and blue, they turn purple. An analogy that you would assume to be endearing. In that context, it would seem to be a bit problematic. The director's defense is that for the characters to grow, they need to be flawed. But the problem with the film is that they didn't address this aspect of their characterization again. In this day and age where society has progressed this far and would want representation in Hollywood to be well endowed and progressive, Cassie and Luke definitely have a lot of room for development, and if there were to be a sequel, they can definitely explore this in their relationship. If it is grounded in reality, the likelihood of individuals with very opposing views would rarely work out. The film has definitely made a mark in Netflix romance films, one that stood out last year, and despite the mixed reviews and criticisms, it definitely had the world talking. It captures a lot of aspects of the world that we experience today. Although it may not be a perfect film, there is no denying that in one way or another, it has made people feel things, regardless of whether or not it was positive or negative for them. If there was to be a sequel, there is a lot still to explore with this couple. Guaranteed that the sequel will still be anticipated by many romance enthusiasts everywhere. We'll see you in the next one.